welcome to another edition of Lightest and Best, where we look at the lightest and best offerings from a variety of knife manufacturers. Today we're going to look at the manufacturer CH Outdoor Tools, and their lightest and best offering is the CH 3001. This is the anodized green version, and they come in a variety of colors. They come in purple, blue, gray, and I think that you're going to find this, not only is it the lightest and best, but it's one of the knives that has the best actions that you'll ever come across. CH Outdoor Tools is a Chinese knife manufacturer. Their products can be purchased on DHgate, AliExpress, or eBay. Of those three, eBay is the most expensive and DHgate is the least expensive. The company does not have an internet presence, and in a country of 1.3 billion people, it's easy to get lost in the crowd, and so they have. There are some knives that are such a great value that you just have to have one of them, the value in the category. I want to give you an example, as the Ontario Rat 2 is an example. It costs only $24. It's a simple, well-made knife. It has a thumb stud deployment that is terrific. It deploys so fast that you'd think it's an assist opening knife, but it's really not. It has a 3-inch blade, which is just the right size of blade and is legal in all the states, and its handle is just the right size and shape and contour for great ergonomics. It comes in a variety of colors, and at $24, everyone, in my opinion, should own an Ontario Rat 2. That's just my personal bias. Well, the CH 3001 is similar. On DHgate, you can pick one up for $48 as of April 2017. So for $50, less than $50, you can have a knife with one of the greatest flipping actions you'll ever have. It's comparable to knives that cost hundreds of dollars. And sometimes if I have friends that are not knife people, I'll bring my best flipping knives, and I want to give you an example of them. This is the Berger Atlas. It is a wonderful flipping knife, and it has that characteristic of a free fall that just free falls with gravity. You just open it up, and gravity can cause it to return. It's so well made, and the engineering is so tight and specific. The Berger Atlas is a great flipper. Another great flipper is the Shirogorov Neon. It has the multi-row bearing system, and you just get it going, and gravity takes it down to a close. It's a wonderful flipping. The Berger Atlas uses the IKBS system, so these are both excellent flipping knives. Both of these knives cost over $500 each. So you get a similar flipping action and gravity return action with the CH 3001, except the CH 3001 only costs less than $50. And so if you're on a budget, but you want to have a sleek knife with great flipping action, I would consider the CH 3001. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Let's start with the specifications. The blade length is 3.3 inches long. The handle is 4¼ inches. The total knife length is 7½ inches. The weight of the knife is only 3.1 ounces. I have some knives here for comparison. First of all, we'll start with the Zero Tolerance 0562. As you can tell, the 0562 is a little bit larger. We have the Hinderer XM18 3-inch, which is a little bit smaller. And as I've shown you, the Ontario Rat 2, which is a little smaller than the knife. And then we have the Shirogorov Neon. The Shirogorov Neon is pretty much exactly the same size, and this is definitely not a Shirogorov Neon knockoff, but it's exactly the same size. The blade shapes are very comparable. Even the grind line is comparable, and they're both full flat grounds. You can see a lot of similarities, but this isn't a knockoff, but it's very similar. So if you wanted a Shirogorov on a budget, I would recommend the CH 3001. And then lastly, I've already shown you the Berger Atlas. The Berger Atlas is a little smaller than the CH 3001. So there are some size comparisons. Let's talk about the blade a little. The blade is made of D2 steel in a classic drop point configuration. It's got a stone wash on it. It's a full flat ground to the very top. There's no jimping on the posterior spine and no chamfering on the spine either. The method of deployment, as I've mentioned, is by flipper. And this, I just can't talk enough about its flipping action. Just with a little jiggle, it goes on down. The flipper tab is ingeniously designed also. You can just push against it for a light switch, but if you want to button push it, it has a great configuration and design in that the flipper is designed so that it points downward, in that when you press against it, the vector of your finger is going this way, which is the way it should go. It's the direction the knife is flipping. And it's amazing the knife manufacturers that won't get their push button component of their flipper tab in the right direction. But this is a well done flipper tab. The handle is an anodized titanium handle. As I've mentioned, it comes in a variety of colors. Comes in green, blue, purple, and gray. It has extensive milling, and so you get a little bit of grip out of it. I don't know if you can tell the little milling there. It has the oblique lines going here and here, and then there are little milling lines going here, so there's a lot of CNC machine work on the handle. The handle also has a frame lock, and as you can tell in the frame lock, it has milling on the interior so you can access it easily. Also, there's a cutout on the show side so you can more easily access the lock bar. Many knives will have either interior milling so that you can get your thumb in there and release the lock bar, or they'll have a cutout. But this handle has both, so it's easy access and easy release for the lock bar. Also on the handle, there's a lanyard hole for those of you who are lanyard people, and the handle is an open pillar construction, so it's easy to clean, although this is a little dirty, I need to clean it, and it has two standoffs there. The bearings are captive bearings, and I'll put up a picture of those. And it's amazing that it gets such great flipping action without using the IKBS or the multi-row bearing system, but it does. There's some magic in the tooling that they did on this knife. The lock bar, as I've mentioned, has the interior milling and is easy to release. It has a lock bar insert that's steel that also functions as an over-travel stop. The pocket clip is embedded and is a spring tension pocket clip. It's right hand tip up carry only. The ergonomics of the handle of the knife, as you can see, it's a pretty straight handle with a couple of scalloping areas for your fingers to go, and your fingers fit on there just great. And I have a little bit of handle left over, so if you have a large hand, this would be a good knife for you also. But the action is what identifies this knife. It's just as smooth as butter. It's what defines the knife. So what are my impressions about the CH3001 knife from CH Tools? I think it's a wonderful knife. Are there opportunities for improvement? Certainly. The company didn't do any interior milling on the handle scales, and they could have dropped the weight from 3.1 ounces to maybe a half ounce less than that had they done interior milling, but 3.1 ounces is still a nice weight for a knife for an EDC carry. They used a less expensive steel D2, which isn't stainless. You have to keep the blade oiled, but a lot of the higher end custom makers like Greg Medford and Jason Browse also use D2 steel, so I'm not going to fault them for that. D2 steel holds an edge very well. But what do I like about the knife? I think the outstanding things about the knife are that it is a great value. As I mentioned, you can get it on DHgate for less than $48. If you didn't want to wait the month it takes to get it from China, you could buy it on eBay for only $70. But those are just for the impatient people. It also has minimal branding on the knife. On the show side of the knife, it has the manufacturer's name, CH, and the model number, CH3001, but on the handle, there's no maker identification, nor is there on the lock side of the blade. I love that. But the thing I love the best about the knife that defines the knife is its great flipping action. It returns just with gravity and a little jiggle, and you can pay a lot of money for this kind of action. The CH3001 is one of the best values there is. It's an inexpensive knife with great flipping action. It hails from a company shrouded in mystery. It's easy to get lost in a country of over 1.3 billion people. The CH3001 is the lightest and best knife from the CH Outdoor Company. Thank you a lot for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next lightest and best knife video.